Your aquarium water may be crystal clear, the fish are swimming normally, and everything seems under control. But is it really? Small, often overlooked signs can indicate that the system is on the verge of collapse. And when symptoms become visible, such as stressed fish, algae dominating the glass, or foam on the surface, it's because the problem has been building for days or weeks. Beginner aquarists, and even some experienced ones, focus on the visual aspect, but forget that true balance lies in the invisible details: oxygenation, stable temperature, chemical parameters, and fish behavior. A seemingly beautiful aquarium can hide an ecosystem out of balance. In this video, you'll learn 6 clear signs that your aquarium is out of control. These are subtle signs that, if identified early, can save your fish's lives and prevent losses. If you want to keep your fish healthy, avoid mysterious deaths, and avoid the risk of losing your entire aquarium overnight, stay tuned until the end. And take advantage. Have you noticed any strange behavior in your aquarium? Comment below. Let's exchange experiences.
1. Unstable temperature, the silent enemy. Temperature is one of the most overlooked factors by aquarium keepers, but it's also one of the most critical. Many tropical fish need temperatures between 75 degrees Fahrenheit and 80 degrees Fahrenheit to maintain a stable metabolism. Sudden fluctuations, even 3 or 4 degrees in a few hours, can cause stress, weakened immunity, and even sudden death. The greatest danger lies in aquariums without a thermostat or with poor quality heaters. During the day, the temperature can rise with the ambient light. At night, it can drop dramatically. This back and forth is a nightmare for sensitive fish like neonfish or guppies. A sign that something is wrong? Fish hiding, moving slowly, or floating at the surface without swimming properly. This could indicate heat shock. A digital thermometer is essential for monitoring the tank. If the temperature is outside the ideal range for your fish, it's time to act. Stability is more important than the exact temperature. It's better to keep a tank at a constant 76 degrees Fahrenheit than one that fluctuates between 72 degrees Fahrenheit and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Does your aquarium experience temperature fluctuations? This could be the first sign that something is out of whack.
2. Algae growth, when green becomes a warning sign. Algae are part of any healthy aquarium's ecosystem, but when they begin to dominate the environment, what was once a natural detail becomes a serious imbalance. If they spread across glass, plants, rocks, substrate, and even the fish's bodies, it's a sign that light and nutrients are out of control. The most common mistake is overlighting. Leaving the lamp on for more than 10 hours a day or exposing the aquarium to direct sunlight accelerates algae growth. But light alone doesn't cause this outbreak. It needs fuel, and this comes from accumulated nutrients such as nitrate and phosphate, usually resulting from excessive food, insufficient siphoning, and improper water changes. Brown algae, green algae, filamentous algae, spot-like algae, or algae in the form of sticky slime all indicate the same problem: imbalance and accumulation of organic matter. And when they take over, they begin to compete with plants for oxygen, disrupting photosynthesis and compromising water quality. Over time, the aquarium loses transparency, the fish become more stressed, and the environment becomes unstable. Have you ever cleaned the glass and a few days later it's green again? Have you noticed a carpet of algae on the bottom? These are warning signs that shouldn't be ignored. Control starts with adequate lighting, accurate feeding, and consistent maintenance.
3. Foam or biofilm on the surface, a sign of saturated water. A clean, crystal-clear surface is a sign that your aquarium is functioning properly. But if you begin to notice persistent foam or an oily, milky layer on the top of the water, be on the lookout. This phenomenon, called biofilm, may seem merely aesthetic, but it indicates an excessive accumulation of dissolved organic matter. This matter comes primarily from leftover food, feces, fish secretions, dead plant leaves, and waste that isn't being removed by the filter. When this builds up, the water's surface creates a barrier that prevents gas exchange, reducing oxygenation. With less oxygen available, fish begin to breathe faster, yawn, or even swim near the surface to compensate. Foam, especially after feeding the fish or moving the aquarium, typically indicates excess protein in the water, another sign of poor maintenance or overfeeding. In both cases, the cause is related to low filter efficiency or a lack of surface water movement. Ideally, improve circulation with pumps or reposition the filter return to break surface tension. Adjusting the feed amount and siphoning regularly also help reduce this problem. Have you noticed a whitish or greasy-looking layer on the top of your aquarium? Don't ignore it. It's more than just a visual nuisance. It's a clear sign that the water is saturated and needs immediate attention.
4. Strong or unpleasant smell when your nose detects the problem. A healthy aquarium is virtually odorless. If, upon approaching your aquarium, you notice a strong, sweet, sour, or stagnant odor, this is one of the most obvious signs that something is seriously wrong. The unpleasant odor usually comes from the decomposition of accumulated organic matter. Uneaten food scraps, dead plants, feces, and even decaying fish that went unnoticed. All of this feeds colonies of anaerobic bacteria that, in addition to the foul odor, release toxic compounds such as ammonia and hydrogen sulfide. This buildup often occurs in overfed or poorly siphoned aquariums. Even with a powerful filter, debris accumulates in the substrate and in hard-to-reach corners. Weekly water changes are important, but they're not enough if you don't clean the bottom regularly. What's more, a bad smell could be a harbinger of a bacterial outbreak, which rapidly consumes oxygen from the water and can kill all your fish within hours. If your aquarium has a strong odor, don't ignore it. Perform a thorough cleaning, test the water parameters, and review your maintenance routine. 5. Stressed or aggressive fish. Behavior speaks loudly. Strange behavior in fish isn't random. It's a direct reflection of their environment. If you notice your fish constantly hiding, swimming erratically, yawning constantly, rubbing against objects, or fighting with each other, it's a clear sign of stress or intense discomfort in the aquarium. This stress can have several causes: unstable temperature, such as below 74 degrees Fahrenheit or above 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Unbalanced chemical parameters, such as excessively acidic or alkaline pH, high ammonia, nitrite, or nitrate buildup, excessive lighting, overcrowding, or conflict between incompatible species. Even fish considered hardy, such as mollies and swordtails, suffer when living with aggressive species, such as certain cichlids. Bettas, when kept in small containers and without any visual or physical stimulation, tend to become apathetic, reclusive, and may even bite their own fins, a self-harming behavior linked to stress. Another worrying sign is rapid, shallow breathing, usually caused by low oxygen or the presence of ammonia, a common problem in new or poorly filtered aquariums. Observing the fish daily is essential. They don't vocalize, but they communicate through behavior. If something seems out of place, don't ignore it. Correcting the environment quickly can prevent illness, death, and the loss of overall system balance.
6. Unexplained fish deaths, the final alarm. When a fish dies out of nowhere with no visible signs of illness, many people blame bad luck or think it was just old age. But the truth is that sudden and frequent deaths are one of the clearest signs that the aquarium is completely unbalanced. In poorly cycled aquariums, the presence of ammonia or nitrite, even in small amounts, can be lethal. Imagine living in a toxic environment. That's what fish face when water parameters are outside ideal limits. And worse, the water may appear crystal clear, but it's invisibly dangerous. Another common factor is the lack of quarantine for new fish. Just one infected fish can introduce parasites, bacteria, or viruses into the entire aquarium. The result can be a series of deaths with no apparent cause, spreading unchecked. Dead fish release even more toxins into the water, creating a vicious cycle. If this happens in your aquarium, stop everything. Perform thorough tests, change some of the water, and review your entire care routine. One dead fish may seem like an isolated incident. 2 are too many coincidences. 3 or more, it's a sign that something in the system is seriously failing.
Does your aquarium show any of these signs? Then it's time to take it seriously. An aquatic system can appear visually stable for days or even weeks, but when imbalance reaches a critical point, the effects appear quickly and often irreversibly. Fish die, the water deteriorates, and before you know it, the aquarium is out of control. Maintaining a healthy aquarium has nothing to do with luck. It's a matter of constant attention to details that aren't always visible. The temperature must remain stable without fluctuating more than 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Water parameters must be tested regularly. Fish behavior must be closely monitored, and any signs of stress or organic matter buildup must be addressed urgently. If you've identified any of the 6 signs we've outlined here, the best time to correct the problem is now. Perform a complete checkup: feeding, filtration, water changes, and chemical testing. Have you seen any of these symptoms in your aquarium? He shares his experience here in the comments. And if you want more practical, no-nonsense tips on aquarium keeping, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of useful content coming.